I still remember the look on my daughter's face the first time she told me she needed a car. She was 17, bright-eyed, and full of dreams. That day, she came home with her little winter coat zipped up tight, holding her backpack close, and said, "Dad, everyone at school has a car. I feel left out. I just want something reliable for Christmas." My heart sank. I knew she didn't care about fancy cars, just the independence that came with one. I wanted to make her dream come true, but what I didn't know was that fulfilling it would become one of the most unforgettable lessons in kindness I've ever experienced. It all started on a cold December morning. I walked into the local dealership, ready to buy a car for my daughter's Christmas gift. I had saved up for months, sacrificing small luxuries just to make this moment happen. But as soon as I stepped inside, I noticed the skeptical glances of the salespeople. They didn't know me. They didn't know my story. And in that moment, I could feel the unspoken judgment, another man walking in, probably wasting time or trying to negotiate a deal. Before I dive deeper into that day, if you love heartwarming stories about the power of kindness, make sure to subscribe to Kindness Tales, hit the like button, and leave a comment sharing your favorite act of kindness. Your support helps us keep sharing these inspiring stories every week. Back at the dealership, I walked past rows of shiny cars, my mind racing. I had my daughter's wish list in my pocket, nothing fancy, just safe, dependable, and, ideally, red, her favorite color. I approached a friendly-looking salesman named Mike and told him, "I'm looking for a car for my daughter. Something simple, something safe, and preferably in red." He raised an eyebrow and nodded, "We can work with that. Let's see what we've got." As we walked around, I noticed other salespeople whispering, pointing at me and laughing softly. I overheard one mutter, "Cash? He's probably bluffing." My stomach twisted. I didn't come here to prove anything. I came to make my daughter's Christmas magical. Still, I smiled politely and focused on the cars in front of me. Finally, I spotted it, a beautiful little sedan, deep red, with a clean interior and that new car smell that instantly brings a smile. It wasn't flashy, but it radiated warmth and reliability. I turned to Mike and said, "That's the one. Can we finalize the deal today?" He hesitated for a moment and glanced around at his colleagues. "Well, it's a good choice, sir. But you know how it works, we usually go through credit checks, financing." I nodded and smiled. "Actually, I'm paying cash." The room went silent. You could literally hear the air shift. The same people who had been smirking just moments ago now looked shocked. One of the salesmen even laughed nervously, thinking I was joking. I shook my head and handed over the check. "Cash," I said again. Suddenly, the energy in the dealership changed. The laughter stopped, replaced by respect and, oddly enough, curiosity. Mike smiled, shook my hand, and said, "Well, sir, I'll be honest. I didn't expect that. Let's get this paperwork sorted." While the staff worked on the documents, I watched the little sedan and imagined my daughter's face on Christmas morning. I pictured her rushing down the stairs, eyes wide with disbelief, tears forming as she saw the car with a big red bow on top. That image alone made every penny worth it. But what happened next, something I never anticipated, was what really made this day unforgettable. Once all the paperwork was signed, Mike handed me the keys and said, "You know, sir, it's rare to see someone make a gesture like this. Most people talk about doing something nice for their kids, but few actually go through with it so generously. I hope your daughter appreciates it." I smiled, feeling a warmth in my chest. "She will," I said. "And I hope she learns that kindness and generosity matter more than anything else in this world." As I was about to leave, I noticed a young boy sitting outside the dealership, shivering in the cold. He looked no older than 12 and was staring longingly at the cars through the window. I recognized that look, the same one my daughter had when she first asked for a car. Without thinking twice, I walked over and knelt beside him. "Hey there," I said gently, "do you like cars?" His eyes lit up, and he nodded, "Yeah, but I can't afford one." My family, we don't have much. I smiled warmly and handed him a small toy car I had in my pocket, a gift I always kept for moments like this. Here, I said. It's not much, but maybe it'll remind you that big things are possible someday. His eyes widened in surprise, and he grinned from ear to ear. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. That moment, small as it was, reminded me why acts of kindness matter. It wasn't about recognition or status, it was about touching someone else's life, even in the tiniest way. Driving home that day, I thought about my daughter and the young boy outside. I realized something important. Kindness isn't just in grand gestures like buying a car. It's in noticing the people around you, acknowledging their struggles, and offering what you can, even if it seems small. Every act of generosity, no matter how modest, has a ripple effect. When I arrived home, I parked the red sedan in the driveway, carefully wrapping it with a massive bow I had borrowed from the store. My daughter was upstairs, pretending to be busy, trying to ignore the holiday excitement that always bubbled over in our house. I called her down with a simple, "Come here for a second." She walked into the living room, her eyes narrowing suspiciously. "What's going on?" she asked. I gestured toward the driveway, and the moment she saw the car, her jaw dropped. Her eyes welled up with tears, and she ran toward me, throwing her arms around my neck. "Dad, you didn't," she whispered between sobs. "You actually did this." I held her tight and smiled. "Merry Christmas, sweetheart. You've worked hard, and you deserve this." That night, as we sat by the fireplace, I thought about the dealership, the salespeople, and even the young boy I had given the toy car to. I realized that kindness isn't always about what people expect from you. Sometimes, it's about surprising them, lifting them up, and showing them that generosity still exists in the world. That day, I didn't just give my daughter a car, I gave her a lesson in hope, joy, and the power of kindness. In the days that followed, I heard from the dealership. Mike called me personally, saying that the staff couldn't stop talking about my gesture. They said it reminded them why they got into this business in the first place, to make people's lives better. And that, more than anything, made me proud. But the best part? Watching my daughter drive her car for the first time. The joy on her face was indescribable. She waved at me from the passenger seat, beaming from ear to ear, and said, "Dad, I promise I'll be kind to others, just like you were to me." That moment, I realized the true magic of giving. It inspires others to give as well. Kindness isn't just an action, it's a ripple that spreads far beyond what you can see. Now, every time I see someone smile because of a small act of generosity, I remember that December day. I remember the laughter of the salespeople, the surprise on their faces, and the tears in my daughter's eyes. I remember the boy outside, clutching his toy car, and the warmth in my chest as I realized that kindness really does make the world brighter. And that's the lesson I want everyone watching to take away. Generosity doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be expensive or extravagant. It's about noticing someone's need, acting with a warm heart, and giving without expecting anything in return. Whether it's a car, a smile, or a simple word of encouragement, kindness has the power to change lives, inspire others, and create moments that will be remembered forever. So this Christmas, or any day really, take a moment to think about how you can make someone's day a little brighter. Whether it's your family, a stranger, or even a friend in need, your small act of kindness can become someone else's unforgettable memory. My daughter's car was more than just a gift, it was a lesson in generosity, love, and the beauty of human connection. And it all started because I chose to act with kindness, despite the laughter and doubt of others. Remember, the world needs more people willing to surprise others with goodness, to offer help without hesitation, and to give generously from the heart. You might not realize it at the time, but your actions have the power to inspire, heal, and bring hope. And sometimes, the smallest acts of kindness, like paying cash for a car to see your daughter smile, can echo far beyond what you ever imagined. So, if there's one thing I want you to take away from my story, it's this: never underestimate the power of a kind heart. Even in a world that often seems cynical, your generosity can